It will be fluting, it will be drumming and storytelling, and then it will be intertwined, it will be rotating. There will be one story called The First Strawberries. And nature is all here for us. And that's a story that he's going to be telling. It's the first event, and for Hendersonville to come down Main Street, I think it's an important part too. So I'm doing it for our citizens and for the visitors. And I have ideas coming up that might be coming in place. And I got other artists that we work with that are local too. So All Nations Trading, we opened up almost 4 years ago. We had this trading post out in California before for about 15 years, and we decided to move to North Carolina because it was a wish and a dream that came true. So we moved to Saluda, but the store is on Main Street in Hendersonville. And we have a lot of Cherokee, we have a lot of Lakota, Winterhawk, he's a local potter. So he's a local potter, and of course we have a lot of sterling silver jewelry. And that is mostly from the Navajo Nation. And we have soothing and relaxing music, books, carvings, and the pottery.
Well, I'm from the mountains of Beulah Dean and Red Hill in North Carolina, backside of the Roan Mountain, Tennessee. Deep in my family are Cherokee and Irish roots. And still today, there's no gas station, no nothing like that. Part of my Irish heritage, and my great uncle was a man with the longest beard in the Guinness World Book of Records, and he was a teacher, and he'd roll it up and put it in a bag. And you can see that, I don't know if they still do the book, but what happens is they did all these freaky things with the Guinness World Book of Records, and you don't see the books as much, but I think you can get it online. But I also have Cherokee, Salagi heritage, which is Overhill, which would be the upper mountains. There weren't as many in population, they weren't as big of villages. And that's what I've been told by my grandmothers, who have since deceased. But I got to learn a lot. And for many years, there's all kinds of Cherokee and Irish lore and stories that you tell at the dinner table and stuff like that. But mainly what we're going to focus in on Saturday is key-style stories. I have friends of the Iroquois up in Oneida, the 5 Iroquois Confederation. We send some of our art to them, and I tell stories. They allow me to tell some of the stories that they do about why the animals are the way they are, and they're fun. They're for adults, for children, and I just like to pass them on. It's a free thing that I do for the stories. The music that I do, I'm a native flute player, and the music is what I'm known for. I'm a 5-time recording artist. I've got stuff in the Cherokee Museum from the flute playing that I do. By the way, you're listening to it now.
And how did you get into the flute playing?
Well, I think we all have passages as young men. I happened to go to some family, and when I did, there was some Cherokee family there, and this old man gave me a flute, and he said, "Time to go play," and he walked away. And it really made me mad. When you're in your 20s, and we've got this battle that we've got this big battle within ourselves as teenagers. We're going to fly free or do whatever, and we channel that in different ways. For me, it was the best thing that ever happened, because when I picked it up, I never put it down again. And I started doing other world instruments of tribal people, because I'm a mixed bag in my culture. And the thing is the good thing is I know both sides. A lot of people nowadays, even around this area, don't even know some of their cultures. they only know a couple of generations. But it's awesome to know where you come from.
So tell us a little bit about the stories that people hear on Saturday.
I think we're going to do, if anybody's in a relationship, the strawberry story. It's a old Cherokee story. It's about a man and woman who, after many years of being together, have an argument, and it's a bad one. It's a real bad one. What happens is so they split. But we have regrets in our human existence. So that's an adult story about relationships, how we come back together, and it's not all about being right or wrong or whatever. And that story's been told for thousands of years. As well as we might. I don't think we're going to tell the rabbit story. My wife's in the background, and we don't have a big enough room. Which, if I do a stage, I do it for kids. How the rabbit got his long ears, his stubby back legs, and his buck teeth. And it's an interesting thing because he was an arrogant little thing. I'll probably tell the fire story of how the eternal fire of the Cherokee, which you can find in the museum. I'll tell that one and creation story and ask questions to people about what they know about the culture, because it's true. You'll see a lot of tribes out west and up north. They'll have eagles and hawks as their national bird. Well, I'm going to ask, what's the Cherokee bird? And we'll leave that one for Saturday too.